Oh, yeah, a brawl is surely brewing as this countdown goes down. Looks like we got a classic Mugman versus Cuphead match going
Oh,
on. And we're off. Good luck to the runners.
good luck and have fun. So let's see what kind of kettle times they get. Let's see if we see the magical sub 10 seconds. Really hard to do.
Ooh, 10-15 by Yukaa. Close. Cutting it close to
Pretty
that up
close.
10. Still a really solid kettle there.
Yeah, if you get a like a sub 10 on kettle, you already won the race. We have like a specific rule for that.
And most of you all probably know the deal here by now. They picked up 3 coins from the Apple Kid. Going to be getting 5 more. And this run and gun, Forest Folly, is going to be the only run and gun they do. And with those 8 coins, they'll be getting, I would be guessing, the lobber and spread weapons. I'm pretty sure that's the route both of them take. So,
Yeah, the standard route for most runners, pretty optimized. It's much easier on some fights than pea shooter spread. Even though you have to go through an extra level, it definitely makes up for it in some of the later levels in the game. So that's what
yeah,
most runners choose to go for.
both runners getting really solid follies there. Actually, that's what you like to see. That level can be really tricky. There is some RNG elements that can really catch you off guard and cause you to take a death there or lose a ton of time. But they both got through it nice and healthy. Even goes for some damage boosts there at the end.
What is that? Both of them using their HP to the maximum, uh, as much as they could to get a little bit faster. We love to see.
Yeah,
HP is
yeah,
just you just
it's
use
a
HP to
resource.
go faster. Yeah, reasons.
Yeah, and Yuka actually got a 37 there. I do think Yuka's one of the best Forest Follies of any Cuphead player. Does absolutely a great job there. We got Root
Yep.
Pat, which is gonna be setting up a lobber trap on Yuka's side, just getting a bunch of lobbers bouncing. So as soon as the onion comes in, he gets hit by that. And Yuka actually not opting for the secret phase. Neither of them going for it. Just gonna do a lot of damage with those lobber EXs. And moving on to the carrot here should be nice and quick, nice and clean.
Yeah, doing the secret phase on lobber spread is not that great because you can just do an insane amount of damage with that lobber trap. But if you're running pea shooter spread, then it might be better to go for the secret phase because it is a little bit faster.
Yeah, yeah. And even for lobber spread, the secret phase is comparable, but if you go for the triples especially, which is where you line up in a pixel perfect position and you hit a lobber EX on both the boss and the ground, it doesn't actually deal triple damage in this version of the game, but it still does double damage on the EX. So it's kind of like hitting twice, and it could really speed up that onion, which I think Yuka was actually going for him.
Yeah, nothing. It's not a harm to go for the double damage lobbers. Even if you mess it up, you're just gonna hit a single like you would. So not
Right.
bad to go for it. Moving on to Ribby and Croaks. Both of them getting punches first, which is good RNG. You can go for the Yuka getting the. Did he get the one cycles?
Yuka
Like
actually
there's a
got
couple.
a actually, what I thought Yuka got flies first, but I might have missed that. I
Yeah, he
know
might
Becky
have.
got
Yeah,
punches.
yeah. I I kind of thought the two screens were synced, but Yuka might have been a cycle ahead.
Yeah, Yuka got flies first, is what it was. That's what happened there.
Right.
Oh, taking some crazy spread EXs, damage boost, trying to get this one cycle, but having to do a couple turnbacks, not able to quite finish that off. Well, Becksy unfortunately getting bulls, which is almost impossible to one cycle on.
Yeah, those damage boosts were really sketchy. Was there getting you try to damage boost and sometimes you just get pulled back by the platforms. You miss some EXs. So
Yeah.
very risky strats, but fortunately no deaths and the fight is done.
So both of them getting very similar times, 107 and 108 with completely different patterns.
Yeah, that's interesting actually because usually when runners don't get bulls, they usually get like good runners usually get one cycles, and that can throw off the timing a lot. But right now they're very close to each other, which is good. We like seeing those close matches.
Oh yeah, for sure. Moving on here into Goopy. Oh, Yuka actually going for the quad setup, or well, in this case, it would be double damage. There's actually a sprite swap that Goopy does, where when transitioning from phase 1 to 2, there's phase 2 just is preloaded off screen somewhere where we can't see it. It's just kind of over there chilling. And at one point, the game seamlessly swaps in that phase 2. And what's interesting is you can hit a Lava EX, it explodes, it hits the first phase of Goopy. Then when the game swaps in the second phase, the explosion's still there and it hits both of them. It's a very tight timing. But if you nail it, it's kind of, you're getting double damage. And Yuka actually cleared the parry question marks out of the way, so you can launch one up and shoot one into Goopy, hoping to get 2 of those double damage Lava EXs. And it looks like he honestly might have got him, because that was an excellent Goopy.
Yeah, that's one of the really difficult tricks if you choose to go for it, because the timing is so tight and you can't even
Yeah.
see when it's happening. You just kind of have to know the timing. So good stuff there from Yuka. Very difficult trick, and it's nice to see. Moving on to Hildeberg. Should be a pretty straightforward fight. But let's see who gets a better time. There's a lot of time saves on this fight that you can do with some damage boosts, shooting the EXs properly to get 4 ticks. So you can get varying times on this fight, even though the strats are similar. See what happens.
Yeah, an interesting decision here from Yuka to avoid one of the damage boosts, which honestly it only costs maybe a second or two, and it is a bit safer. Looks like, oh, Bexy taking the nuke. That's actually unfortunate to get the nuke at that position, because the nuke takes time to deal its full amount of damage, and because Hilda flies off screen so quick there, you actually almost get no damage from that nuke. Only like 1 or 2 ticks instead of like all like 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
really? I
you
didn't know
beat
that.
up the last phase. Yeah, yeah. It's the same way on Dr. Cal, when the second phase, if you nuke late, like you kind of like above him or something, and then you nuke into him like right as he's about to fly off screen, it could actually glitch the fight, because it like barely finishes him off screen, and there's some really janky stuff with that nuke.
That's interesting. I used to think the nuke did upfront damage, like an instant burst of damage of whatever it was, 150 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Some new
yeah,
tech I'm hearing of.
yeah, yeah. It actually happens in ticks, which is, I mean, it happens pretty fast. But Hilda she's only on screen there for like a tiny bit when you're on the edge there, and she's flying through, so it
Yeah.
doesn't give quite enough time, unfortunately.
Alright. So both of these runners clearing Hildeberg. I saw Yuka go for a parry, and he tried to go for another one there, which is interesting because on Cagney you usually can only get 1 parry and 2 if you're lucky, which actually loses you time because of the scoreboard. The scoreboard has to take the parry counter up, which actually loses 0.8 seconds if I'm not wrong. And the screen lag due to the parry also loses you some time. So if you don't get more than 1 parry, 2 parries kind of equals it out. But if you don't get more than 1, then you usually lose time. So an interesting choice to go for parries on Kang.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen some do it before. Just they just feel they don't want to have to deal with the some of that, and the parry just feels convenient at the time. And even if it loses you a tiny bit, it's not, thankfully, not too big of a deal.
Yeah. So both of them clearing up Cagney. Yuka moving on to Baroness Wonder. Let's see what RNG is.
Oh, yeah, RNGesus. Hopefully it's with the runners here. Get a Jawbreaker first, which honestly I don't mind Jawbreaker first, really, as long as the Jawbreaker doesn't come second, because that's the worst positioning for him. Thankfully he doesn't have much health, so getting it first before you're using EXs isn't too bad.
Yeah, Jawbreaker
Separation.
just missed the quick kill. Yeah, just dies at the same time. So if the waffle doesn't attack, you can't kill him when he's doing the attack. So that loses you some time. And yeah, getting a little bit unfortunate like that.
Ooh, nice quick
Getting
look
a
at the
pretty.
cupcake on Bexy's end.
Oh yeah, and a very quick fight from Yuka. Becksy, meanwhile, tearing up Candy Corn. I'm missing it. They're just clearing up too fast.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Bexy getting the pinball into Cupcake, making quick work of those two, but unfortunately getting the candy corn at the end slowed down Bexy Boy a bit. Was probably hoping to see like the waffle or third or something like that. But Bexy's still getting a nice time there. And Yuka moving on already into Wally.
Yeah, candy corn isn't too bad if you get it at the beginning, but if you get it later, you just have to chase him around the whole time. Especially if you miss the EX that you do from the other track. So it just loses you. Moving on to Wally, one of the more difficult fights in my opinion. You could get some like not that it's not RNG based, but you could if you mess something up, you could get some really bad luck in the last phase. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, some things to really look out for is when you trigger that second phase where Wally starts throwing all the feathers. If you trigger it at the very top of the screen, it's actually really bad. Thankfully, that's not happening to either of the runners. Getting him more
Yeah,
below the screen.
and pausing after the third phase to get the last phase to come on screen a little bit quicker.
You could
And
play in the
Yuka is
gold
getting
corner.
two in the corner, opts to go
Oh.
outside. Hmm.
Yeah, actually a little bit scary there because of that version 1.2 invisible hitbox. That's that huge square on top of his stomach. So you actually don't have very much space to dodge there. But thankfully, Yuka took Wally out before it got really dangerous. Although it's kind of happening to Bexy right now.
Yeah.
Getting really close to that invisible hitbox. Okay. Oh.
Okay, yes, yeah. That box is ridiculously large. It's not even
Yeah.
you don't even think that it's gonna be there. It's just really bad. But
Visually, it looked like Bexy was very safe there, but because of that unfortunate invisible hitbox, he was actually extremely close to bonking into it. But thankfully did not. Really scary stuff there.
yeah. So we have seen a deathless run so far from both of these runners, which means they've been keeping it really competitive, which is pretty nice to see. And they're just like I'd say 20 seconds off each other's times.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still a good run, and anything could happen here as they move on. Jimmy the Great.
Yeah, this is one of those things where Yuka might have the lead. You know, Yuka coming in with a lot of Cuphead experience, been around the community for a very long time, and all that experience and practice recently is letting Yuka have a little bit of an edge on most bosses, just a tiny bit. But one death, Bexy's right there behind him. He'll pass him up. So anything could really happen here for sure.
Yeah, and both of the runners moving on to the later stages in Jimmy's fight. Becksyboy clearing up the south of his ears. It basically has no health left after you over damage on the pillar phase. Whereas Yuka on the last phase, he's got 3 HP. He's fine. This is fine.
Yeah, good fight there. Looks like Bexy's having a solid fight too. That was a good point. Is Bexy's actually only been running this for about 3 months now, so keeping up with Yuka, one of the better runners in the community, that's really impressive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And going into the last phase, he's almost got 5 cards. Oh, he's going for the EX stats. He just took a nuke on Cuphead, so I thought he might go for nuke stats on the last phase too, but he's just going to go for nuke. Which I think is smarter. The EXs do more damage.
The bullet EXs do more damage from the EX itself, but your mini bomb cooldown counts down during the EX animation, so it's actually better to let out a little mini bomb and do a mini bomb, EX right after, and then while that EX animation is going on, you're refreshing your next mini bomb, and in the end, it ends up being more damage to do mini bomb EXs there, but only if you time it well, basically.
Right.
It is pretty close because you do get 4 ticks on those bullet EXs, so they're still very solid.
And Yuka getting the one cycle right side yellow donkey. That is impressive.
That
He
was
just
really good.
yeah, he just destroyed him. He spammed 4 EXs into him. You usually have to take a damage boost, but he's just gonna use a lot of EXs, and his last phase is going to be a little bit risky because of that. He's gonna have to deal with the baseballs a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
think
I
he
think he
has
should be
2
fine.
HP, so should be
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
here. We'll see if what Bexy. Oh, let's see if Bexy can also get it.
Oh, he's going for it. He got damage boost.
Really close.
Ooh,
Oh,
just
like
about.
one
Oh
lobber
my
off.
god, one lobber. And
Yeah, that would have been one of those cases. Just if maybe throwing in one more lobber EX would have got the job done there. Which that's kind of what Yuka opted for, was just saying, "Hey, let me make sure I get this one cycle, even if it costs me all my cards."
yeah. And Yuka even cleaning up the last phase before the penguins come out of the piece. So very consistent damage dealt to the last phase. That's not easy to do, especially when you don't have any cards going into it.
Yeah, it means your fundamentals are on point. Your lobber traps are really optimized, and your Calva swaps are really going well.
So
And just bullet tracking too in general, making sure every bullet hits.
yeah, you know, jumping from swing to swing on the carousel, making sure that you're not missing any spread bullets, which might not seem that influential, but it does save you a few seconds. So it's good to do for that.
Going into Grim Matchstick, my favorite boss from an artistic standpoint. I just love dragons. Grim's amazing. And
Dragons,
go
I'm
ahead.
not a fan of those clouds though.
Yeah, the
Let's say that
cloud.
much.
The actual gameplay of this fight is questionable, but I still like it. It's a fun fight, and Lobber makes this fight bearable. Like, going in for the damage boost at the end.
Ooh, nice.
Good
That's
gameplay.
strategy. You need to know really how much damage you've done. You need to have good timing on your damage boost. Otherwise, it is very very scary. You either just die inside his hitbox or you try to come out. You don't know where the clouds are. It's terrifying. Good stuff there from you though.
Yeah, a nice thing that these runners can make use of for things like that is, every time you hit the boss, you generate a little bit of cards, and it's always the same amount of cards. So you could kind of figure out how much health the boss has left by just, keeping track of your cards. Like, you're like, okay, I'm on my 6th card, so I know the Grim will be dead in, a little bit more time, so I can go in there and damage boost. So, of course, assuming that, you hit all your EXs and stuff like that too, because that could throw the damage off. So you really have to pay attention and keep good track.
Yeah, it's a very it's a consistent method, but it's difficult to get down for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really risky.
Yuka
Hitting
going
middle
into
first.
middle first. He also got the one cycle on the police bee, which is really good.
Yeah, that could be
And
tricky.
he's taking some damage boosts here. This is not.
Oh, what killed him?
I think one of
The
the
off-screen
missiles
bullet.
was off screen. Oh man, that's just
That
not
is,
what you like to see. Or
there was
don't
a.
see because
Oh, yeah, there
that is
was a
so
bullet
unfortunate.
that was still loaded off screen, hadn't got away, and when Yuka had to dodge it because the platforms were really bad, it pushed Yuka out, and then, oh my god, must have barely clipped that missile before it despawned.
Yeah,
Because
that
they
is
do
just sheer
despawn
unfortunate.
up there pretty quickly, so it's middle first again with bad platforms again. These platforms are terrible.
No, he's got triangles though. He got triangles before this, so I think he might get the crit kill here.
Oh yeah, true. We'll see.
Yes. And he's missed it.
Yeah,
So he can
Bexy
get a
getting
two
that
cycle.
triangle first also. Actually, I think that
Bexy,
okay.
Bexy
Bexy
gets
taking
sniped by a bullet. And Honey Bottoms is not messing around today. She is claiming victims.
Yeah, to be honest, in my ESA run of this game, this was the boss I took a death on. Honey
Oh,
Bottoms, I like to refer to as the gatekeeper of Isle 3. It just absolutely brutal boss, super punishing, super difficult. And she's really coming out to play today. Not taking
yeah.
it these runners.
But these runners are playing the fight pretty well. I saw Bexy going in the middle of the middle attack, which is a really hard strat to do. You've got to make sure your caliber swaps are timed well, otherwise you're gonna jump up and hit her. Probably. So very good stuff there. And he gets a plane phase. Let's see if he can get the purple.
Okay, getting through it. Thank goodness. Both runners threw Honey Bottoms down. You could go on to another scary boss, Dr. Cal. We'll see what strats Yuka. Oh, Yuka is going for the damage boost here.
Yeah, the damage boost is a little bit better in my opinion. It gives you a lot of cards to go ahead to fight the third phase, but it is very, very scary. You only get 2 HP or 1 HP if you messed up in the first phase.
Yeah, it's very scary. The other advantage it has is that it lets you take out phase 1 quicker, because normally you have to kind of like wait to get 2 parries to make sure you have a nuke.
So yeah.
Yuka cutting it really close here, but finishing off Dr. Cal there. Very well done.
Nice. Moving on to the first phase of Dr. Cal. He's going for a bit of bullet damage rather than mini bomb damage. It's going to be a little bit slow, but it's safer because you got to stay away from the robot itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a
Looks
much
like he's going
safer.
to go for the booster.
Much safer strategy here. I respect that for sure.
Yeah, it gives him 3 HP to get through this phase, and so should be getting through this. Yuka moves on to Sally stage play, one of the easier bosses, but you can do some technical stuff to speed it up a little bit, especially trying to get the top of this screen kill on phase 2, as well as the double damage lobber EXs, which you can shoot in between her umbrella and her own hitbox, and that's gonna give you double damage because the umbrella has its own hitbox for some reason.
Yeah, I have no idea why the umbrella has a hitbox, but it's double damage for us, so we'll take it.
We'll take it any day of the week.
Yeah, Bexy cleaning up Dr. Cal there. You could take in a damage boost, take it 2.
Ooh.
Oh, and missing the EX.
Oh, missing the EX.
There's the Rose of Doom. Okay.
Okay.
That was actually kind of scary there because that Rose was almost perfectly lined up, but Yuka took a dash smartly and just made sure to avoid that there.
Yeah, those roses are they just come out of nowhere, man. Even if there's a visual cue to tell you where they are, you just can't see them coming. They're just tricky to look at, but thankfully does not get hit by it, getting through the fight.
Ooh, Bexy also getting Umbrella first, getting one of those double damage EXs on Sally and the Umbrella.
Nice. And for the second phase, less THP, so we might see a couple of damage boosts here. Usually damage boost on the big wave if it comes through in this attack. And sorry?
Yuka also taking some really aggressive strats with phase 1, damage boosting already, and did a lobber EX really early on in the fight.
A lot of runners go for the damage boost on Vermin. I'm not sure why they go for it on the first phase because I think it's better to go for it on the second phase where sometimes you get bad RNG and you might have to lose a little bit of damage because of the bottle caps. And right here you can go for a damage boost and get a double damage spread EX because Vermin's hitbox lingers a little bit when the cat's hitbox comes into the stream. That gives you double damage.
Yep, hitting the cat and the mouse in one spread EX is really nice, and it's an interesting little puzzle trying to figure out, when to go for the damage boost in this fight because there is a lot of interesting options, and yeah, it's interesting seeing what different runners kind of like end up opting for. Yuka though getting a 51, solid time. Hopefully Bexy's able to get a nice fight here too. This is still very close.
Both of the runners going for the jump up EXs when he charges. Those EXs are so cool. It's just great that the timing lines up for you to get a spread EX in there.
Yeah, really cool. Shout out to Dasha-Q coming up with that strat.
And Yuka moving on to Briny, one of the scarier bosses with lava spread. You have to play really close to him. And yeah, you can see him moving away a little bit from the gun because the gun can just randomly shoot at you if you don't recognize the pattern. And
Yuka knows how to do the 2 lobbers per jump.
No. The 2 lobber per jump, it's too good. I need to learn that just because it's cool. Not even
it does look really cool.
Man, it's too cool.
Yeah, those
did you get the 3 cycle or the 4 cycle? I'm not sure.
We'll find out here on the scoreboard. Not quite sure either.
Oh yeah. Like speeding in the wine cycle. Ooh, the barrel! Oh no, the barrel gets in the
Okay.
way.
Thankfully, Yukaa knowing
Nice.
that you can dash while holding crouch, you can dash under that beam, and it won't hit you. 59, so it must have been a 4 cycle.
Yeah, must have been. I
Unfortunate.
think he got 3 guns in a row actually.
And then dogs,
That's why
yeah. That was
he
really
must.
unlucky.
Yeah. 3 guns it's a good pattern to get a really fast kill, but it is really tough. And then getting dogs is the yikes.
Now Becksy getting a shark. Let's see if Becksy can get a 3 cycle. This will actually catch him up a tiny bit.
Yeah, he looks like. Ooh, wait, is this a 3? Is this the third phase?
This is the third right here. He's using EX, but oh.
Ooh, and it just ended.
Although gets the squid, which if you kill the squid, it does in the get in that phase early. So that did mitigate some of that time loss there. That's really, you like to see that if you end up in a 4 cycle situation. And the 1 cycle there.
Yep.
On the final
You
phase.
usually lose like 8 to 10 seconds because of the 4 cycle. Right? If the squid shows up, you can just kill him instantly. And
yeah, getting a little bit of a time save there over what Yukaa had.
And Yukaa going for the damage boost in phase 2. You can damage boost into her and then use the iframes to avoid being petrified by the waves.
Yeah.
Or
Yukaa really
you could
showing.
do a safer stun.
Yeah, Yukaa too, just this whole fight showing a lot of experience, knowing the hitbox of Calamaria really well. I saw a lot of restraint from Yukaa, knowing that all these little intricacies of Calamaria, like when her head moves a tiny bit forward when she's about to phase transition, stuff like that. You really got to know that if you're going for those mini bomb EXs, and ended up getting a really solid time there with a 104.
Yeah, those mini bomb EXs can be really tough to do in the first and the second phases because if you're not close enough, some of the magnets will just miss her and then go behind and hit maybe her body, her head, but it won't do damage. So good stuff there. It's really showing off Cuphead knowledge and experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on to Phantom Express, a really hard boss. So, and oh my god, he's just gonna go in immediately.
Oh! Back out! Don't. Oh. You could try to do the task phantom strat. What is this? What is this? Please.
Man.
Yeah, funny enough, the fastest Phantom Express that we've ever done on 115, Jason performed I believe it was a minute flat doing that strat where you go in close. We called it Task Phantom because it's just unrealistic to do it perfectly, but you actually gave it a really good go there. Really impressive.
Yeah, those eyeballs can spawn really randomly and just hit you, and getting the parries inside the hitbox of the ghost while he attacks you. What the heck, man?
I think Yukaa was trying to maybe go for some Ghost Wrangling or something, but unfortunately got bonked. At 2 HP though, should still be fine. Lots of cards.
Yeah, should be fine. Going for a little lobber trap. Lobber trap is really hard to do on this phase. You have to get a perfect timing, and maybe you can get a couple of lobbers to hit. But getting a really good one cycle.
Yeah, that was 108. That's a nice time.
That's nuts. Yeah. Like, see, playing it more traditionally, staying back, which is how the fight should be played.
yeah, exactly. Yukaa busting out that in a race, I would never.
Oh my god, no. And ooh, Becksy just about missing. Oh wait, I don't think he was going for the one cycle. He was going for regular caliber swaps rather than a doubles that you need. So pretty good second phase. And Yuka moving on to King Dice. Let's see if we see the spicy 357.
Oh, he's taking a retry because he had no hearts anywhere. These aren't much better.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to retry again. Oh my god. No,
this RG so bad. He's actually gambling. He's actually playing the fight the way it's meant to be played. King Dice
doesn't get
falling into the casino.
Oh man.
He got no heart on 357 the whole time.
Oh my god, 4 times in a row. That's,
you know what I bet it is?
The odds?
I bet I know what it is. Because Yukaa mostly plays 115. I bet Yukaa only knows 357 with Lobber Spread, and Yukaa really wanted the hearts to because it's really scary without hearts. So
Yeah,
Yuka
yeah.
was trying to get it, but getting incredibly unlucky. This actually narrows the gap a bit. Bexy's coming in here on the same fight very shortly.
That was extremely unlucky. Like I don't even
So
know
bad.
the chances of not a single heart on
Yeah.
357
Or
four
and you
times
know
in
what's
a row.
funny? There was no hearts on 4 or 8 except I think once, and then this time. Like it was mostly on 6 and 9.
Oh my god, that's just exceptionally bad luck.
It was
What the
really
heck?
bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Yuka is taking this 3, 4, 8, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, going for number 7 without any hearts is just, first of all, it is scary, really scary.
Mhm.
And you're gonna lose time because you just can't do enough damage to her. You can't spread most of the time. You have to lobber,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't do enough damage. You can't even do the double damage lobbers if you can. So it's much
Ooh,
smarter to go for the 3-5.
Bexy going for the left side bait, going chilling on the right side. Going for a 3 cycle looks like.
Yeah, the left side
Interesting.
bait allows you to go for a couple of double damage lobbers, pixel buff
Mhm.
at once, but it's still really tight. And I I tried to do that a couple of times and I just ended up falling off the ashtray most
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, you have to do a little bit of trickery there to not fall off because the EX will just straight up push you off. You could either, right after the EX pushes you off the ledge, you can actually jump. Because for some reason in this game, if you just walked off a ledge, you could still jump even though you're not on ground. That's probably the simplest
Yeah,
way to do it, but it's pretty scary still.
yeah,
Looks like
definitely.
Yuka, though, is cleaning up the fight now. I really like that Yuka, because this fight is all about the casino and gambling, and Yuka was trying to gamble for those hearts, and we see why you don't
Yeah,
gamble. It just didn't
yep.
pay off of Bexy taking a death.
Oh, just missing the patty on the 12 24 sided die thing. I don't know. But just missing that patty. And yeah, that's really unfortunate. We'll lose some time here.
Yeah, thankfully Bexy getting really good hearts this time. Should be able to clean it up this time around, but Yuka cleaning up the fight with that 1 out of 3 HP, moving on into Devil. And really, it's going to take a death on the Devil for Bexy to be able to catch up any here. So we'll see if Yuka's able to finish it out strong or give Bexy Boy a chance to get back in this.
Yeah, I mean, the bosses have been really bad this race to the runners. So let's see what happens, Devil. Maybe we get like a double spider nonsense.
Oh, Spider, he just missed that.
Caster's curse, there it is.
He's not learned anything. He's doubling down again on the RNGs and hopefully not getting
he
another
is,
Spider here.
yeah, he is really gambling.
Yeah, this is straight gambling.
Yeah, the devil is having none of its snake eyes these days.
It's Spider.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is why you don't deal with the devil. Don't
Yeah,
gamble.
there we go.
You
This
always
is the
lose.
oh man, that is just
That is hard to see.
yeah.
Funny enough, if Spider's first attack and you retry and get Snake, I think it might actually save time, like a couple seconds. But it is, I mean, that's such a
Oh,
gamble.
yeah. And even if you get spider first, and if your damage is not good enough, you could get a second one.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it feels bad. Ooh, Yuka going for the double damage lobbers on the eyes.
Bex doing roulette? Piruletta?
He's got a heart on it, I think. That's why he went for it. But
Okay.
very interesting choice.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
honest,
Yuka cleaning up GG
Ooh,
to Yuka with a 32-28.
nice.
Good game.
Yeah. Good time with the death of honey bottoms and the insane gambles on king knights.
Yeah. What's funny is Yuka lost every gamble.
Every single one. Not even one. Come on.
That's so unlucky.
Yeah, man.
Because think
Man.
about how many he lost a 1 and 3 on 357 and a 1 and 3, or I'm sorry, on 4, 5, and 6. He lost the 1 and 3 there and the 1 and 3 on 7, 8, 9, like 4 times. And then lost the 50-50 on Devil twice. That's so bad.
That's yeah. How? How? Becksy is just cleaning up on King Dice while Yuka is going into Rugged Rich.
Ooh, let's see
Maybe
what
he's going to
Yuka.
show off like a glitch or something.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Air Jordan strat where you can walk on nothing is patched out in 1.2, but maybe Yuka was just having some fun here while waiting for Becksy to finish up here. Becksy moving into the Devil. Hopefully, Becksy gets the good luck and we see that snake or dragon, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Dragon, even if you can't hit those quads anymore on this patch, you can just deal a much more damage to the dragon than you can to the snake. The snake just feels bad, especially if he just like gives you a bad time and doesn't land on any of you. And Yuka,
Bex,
sorry, go
Becksy was getting the flames there, which took a hit, and Spider. Oh my
and
goodness.
Spider, of course. Why would it not be Spider?
Yeah, always Spider.
Yeah. But he seems to be. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say he was landing on the lobber traps a little bit, but then he just goes over to the side.
Yeah.
We still haven't figured out where the spider head comes down. So if anyone can figure that out, you're very much welcome to tell us.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just feels pretty random, kind of like Sally, you know, when she jumps up and then falls down. It's just sometimes it's on top of you, sometimes it's not. Oh, it looks like Yuka's going for a silly little clip, gets it there. And Becksyboy moving on though into the last phase of the Devil, or next to last. I kind of consider this one the last phase, even though it's not, but it's usually the tiered
Yeah, this
phase
is
is pretty safe.
yeah. You basically just have to. I mean,
Yeah,
this chip,
yeah.
yeah, the chip isn't even gonna
3504.
mess with it. Yeah,
GG to
good
Becksy.
time. GG's, man. So
Yeah,
pretty
Yuka actually.
entertaining day. So go on, sir.
Yeah, that was great. It was really close for the majority of the race. I actually, when Yuka took that death on Honey Buns, I was like, this is Becksyboy's chance to catch up. And then Becksy also took that death on Honey Bottoms, and Yuka kind of just maintained the lead. But Becksy and Yuka putting up a really good display today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Honey Bottoms was just really bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the off-screen bullet, it's just so random. Like, what can you really do? You can't even. You don't even think that's still gonna be up there, right?
Yeah, that's one of those spots where, you know, I just had to figure out what happened because you couldn't see what happened. It was off screen, and it's just one of those things where you're like, "What? I died?" You know, like you don't even know what you did wrong right away. You know, just a really unfortunate death.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Bexy boy. GG, man.
How's it going?
Going good. It looks like we're getting Yuka pulled into here too. Welcome in, Yuka. GG.
Hello.
GG on the victory.
Thanks, GG Bexy.
Thanks, man.
Man, what a race. That was so close up until Honey Butters. Then Yuka got killed by an off-screen bullet.
Yeah.
Terrible platforms. Just, it was hard to see. But then Bexy, I was like, oh, this is Bexyboy's chance to catch up. And then Becksyboy also took a death on Honey Bottoms.
Oh, those platforms were terrible.
That was rough.
Yeah, the plan.
Yeah, I got terrible
and
platform also.
and Yuka, what was up with the gambling on King Dice?
The retries.
3-4 retries.
4 retries on King Dice. I
Tried to
wanted
get a heart, right?
Yeah,
On
1
357.
heart for 357. Yeah.
And you didn't get even one.
No.
Yeah, you better not turn into a legacy all bosses runner with how many 1 out of 3s you're missing.
Yeah, but I'm bad with dominoes on no budget glitches.
Yeah, and yeah, double
Mhm.
spider too, because you took a retry on devil because you got spider first, and then immediately another spider. So unlucky, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, the luck was just not with you guys on this match. So anyway, what do you guys think? Bexy, starting with you, what do you think about the run? How do you think it went, man?
Oh, I'm just disappointed. I try to go safe, and then the RNG's been going bad for me all week. I get triple gun on Briny I get no platforms. I get no hearts on King Dice. It was just a mess. Obviously I can't blame it all on that, but I mean, like, it didn't help.
I mean, yeah, the rest of your run was pretty solid, man. I mean, you were like neck and neck with Yuka for most of the race, so very well played by you, honestly.
Thanks.
Like the execution,
Mhm.
I think, apart from the RNG, in most of the fights was really good. Well done, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what thing I was gonna say. Yuka, how long have you been playing or speedrunning Cuphead now at this point? Like, how long ago did you start?
2 years, I think.
Yeah, and really putting on a good display with that experience. I was just wanting to commend Bexy there because Bexy, I think you've only been playing for 3 months.
Yeah,
Is that
about
correct?
3 months.
Yeah, and you really like you were like pretty much on the same boss as Yuka for up until around Isle 3 land, and that's really impressive, and I think you've been doing a great job improving.
Yeah, I haven't left my room for the past 3 months.
I like it, the dedication.
Yeah, I remember one time I had like 100 hours in the past 2 weeks, and I just sat there and went, "Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
I need to leave. I need to get out of this house."
Yeah. Yuka, how are you feeling about your run though?
I tried to play safe at the beginning of the run, but then on Phantom Express, Well Now Well Man, I tried to go.
I couldn't believe you did that.
That was insane. What the heck?
Yeah, Bexy, because I'm sure you didn't get to see it. Yuka pushed the cart forward right away on Phantom phase 1 and just started spread shotting up close on phase
Oh
1.
my god.
Yeah. The madman. Terrifying.
That's why I was trying to go for safe strats, even though I died like twice. But I mean, like, I know Yuka is not a person to hold back, so I'm thinking there's
Yeah.
not any chance. And it still didn't work.
Yeah, I don't like playing safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's funny how sometimes playing safe we overthink things or do strats we don't normally do because we're like, oh, I'll just don't do the normal speedrun thing. And then you're like, wait, I don't know, I've never practiced this, and then you end up dying anyways, and it can be
Yeah.
rough sometimes.
Oh yeah, I was practicing the safe strats a lot. It was more just
That's good.
not so much safe strats, I was just holding back. Like I learned I think I was telling you in your stream, I was learning the Ribby 1 cycles, and I thought myself, I'll only go for it on last phase, but then I got balls and I wasn't going to do the first one
Yeah.
because I sacrificed 2 and then all that. And then like on Hilda, I learned my lesson from last time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely respect going for safe strats and practicing them as well to get the consistency up. And it definitely showed in the tournament, I think, because you were doing really good on most of the bosses. So, like I said a little bit before. So, yeah, hold on. We got a question from chat from 360.
One thing I was actually curious about, have you played much No Major Glitches, Yuka?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Like you were doing really good. Cause I was like, wait, Yuka doesn't play NMG, like not that I know of, and still coming in and doing some sweet strats.
Yeah, my
Uh,
last NMG run before the practice was what 5 months ago.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I played a lot
Yeah.
of 1.0
Um.
Legacy.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yuka going for a lot of those 1.15 strats that you usually see, the quads on Goopy especially, some really hard timings. Did you get the quads or the
No,
doubles,
no,
Yuka?
I haven't got it.
Oh, you didn't get them.
It's so hard.
Yeah, definitely. So
And some
we
questions
got
to hear from chat now. We got Kaichu saying to pass on a pog to Bexy to cheer Bexy up. And then we got Kev. Question for Yuka. What are you going to do after this tournament? Take a break? Do a different category?
I already take a break, so I think after the tournament I will try for the sub 29 on 1.1
Ooh,
and
Grondius, look out.
the
Oh
sub
no!
and I'm looking for the sub 24 on Legacy.
Nice. Those are both just great goals. Getting into the same minute mark as the world record in both the most competitive categories. That would be an awesome goal to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can we dethrone SBD Wolf already? He's had this record for 2 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Let's bring out some competition, boy.
We got to bring Wolf back to Cuphead some way. Someone's got to bop
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. We've got the same question as we asked Yuka for Becksy as well. What are you going to do after this tournament? Going to play the same category?
Well, I plan to get a sub 31 in this category. I haven't got a sub 32 yet, so there's that first. But I mean, the end goal is a sub 31. Then I'll take a break and I want to play. I want to try speedrun the messenger.
Oh,
Hmm.
I love hearing that. Both the goal and the messenger, an amazing
Yeah.
game. I actually want to give a shout out real quick to the messenger for the Cuphead people out there. GG Speedruns right here is also hosting a messenger tournament currently, and it's been an absolute blast. It's an awesome game, casually and as a speedrun. So I recommend checking that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, the Messenger is just a fantastic game. I don't think I will speedrun it because I am bad. But I really enjoyed the game casually. I think I sat down like when I got the game and I just played 8 hours straight because
That's
it's just
awesome.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. So everyone go check it out and check out the races. The races are amazing. The runners are just nuts at that game, including Grondius here, of course. World record holder.
Well, thank you. And one thing I want to say is, Yuka, moving on now, you're going to be up against SBD Wolf next. And now I know his last display in this tournament wasn't amazing because he's been focused on the Big 20, but the
Yeah.
Big 20 race is tomorrow. And once he's done with that, you know,
You will
we might
practice
see
Cuphead.
Wolf a return. So are you looking forward to that match?
Yeah. I will try to get a better PB and some better improvement on IRs.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great match because I'm guessing he's going to rock, P spread at the highest caliber. You're going to be rocking lobber spread, getting some practice in there on NMG.
Yeah.
It's going to be an epic match. Really looking forward to it. And Bexy,
Yep.
it's awesome you made it to round 2 losers here. Unfortunate, heading out of the tournament. I thought you actually played really well, and just from your first match, you've improved so much.
Thank you.
Really awesome to see, and I'm glad to hear that you have these Cuphead goals. You're going to continue on in the game, and
Yeah.
maybe come back next year. Because there's a good chance there'll be another tournament here next year, and maybe
DLC
get some
question mark?
revenge. Yeah, DLC. If we wait for
Yeah.
DLC for the next tournament, we're all going to be old men by the time we do another one. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say something actually. I I think I've mentioned this in my chat before, but I was I was I was so annoyed with some of the just some of the races I was set up with. So half annoyed, half excited because I was like, these are gonna be some hard games because I knew Yuka was ranked 16 because he was putting the seed in 16 because I've mentioned this so much that people in my chat who are in chat right now will be like, oh my god. But I was going against the aeroplanes and I was thinking this is going to be a hard one. His seeding's above me, and I didn't know much about Yuka, but I knew that he was a good player. And then I found out he had like a really good time. I was like,
Yeah.
he's seeding 16. What?
Yeah. You know what's unfortunate too is I feel like Yuka would have made it further in winners, but Yuka went up against Jason of all people in round 2, which is like the last person anyone ever wants to see in the tournament is Jason. and so the fact that you had to fight someone as good as Yuka that early on in round 2 losers, really unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I had some terrible game RNG and some terrible life RNG. Just
Yeah, don't we all, man?
yeah.
But
Oh god.
did you have any more any closing thoughts, anybody, or anything last you want to shout out or say?
I'd just like to say I really enjoyed my races in the tournament, and thank you to Mr. Dino and everyone else who set up the races in the tournament. That's all.
Yeah.
So if anyone in chat has any more questions, we'd like to ask them. But if not, then we'll wrap this up in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's true character. Sorry about that.
I mean, Grondius is like a legendary runner, of course, but Jason is literally an NMG god. he he's just grinding out those times,
Yeah.
getting the world record back. Like I remember Grondius once said that NMG is just a Ruby research simulator because you've got to win a 1/3 basically, and yeah, you need a lot of patience to grind out those times.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And again, yeah, thanks to Mr. Dino. Make sure you all follow. There will be some more matches. It looks like the next match is there's a messenger match tomorrow at 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesday, we have a match for the messenger schedule. Doesn't look like we have any more Cuphead matches scheduled, but I think there's a good chance that we'll see Zero Planes versus Jason on Sunday. I think they've been talking about scheduling it, but they just haven't yet. So we'll look out for that.
And hopefully SBD Wolf and Yuka also schedule the match pretty soon because that one is going to be very exciting.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
got
for
some,
sure.
yeah, we've got a lot of interesting runs to watch coming up. So everyone, stay tuned for updates. And right now, I think we're ready to wrap this up. So thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you, GG Speedruns, for organizing the tournament. Thank you, Yuka and Becksyboy, for participating, for coming into the post-game commentary and sharing your thoughts. And everyone, check out the messenger matches. Amazing game, amazing runners. And yeah, goodbye, everyone. GG's.
Thanks and goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Yep.